So this is our fifth episode of hashtag Children Do question mark. And today I have a very special guest with me, and she has decided to share her story and speak up against child sexual abuse.
Yeah. So, hello everyone, hello listeners. As I have heard, the other stories also in this forum, that inspired me to speak up and share my story too. And I believe my story also inspired a lot of people to speak up. In my childhood, I think I was at 11 years of age, and there was this person who was of my age. And we used to be in the same school, we used to play together, and even we used to share the same home. So he used to stay on the top floor, and I used to stay in the ground floor. And we used to study together, play different games like teacher or doctor together. And then suddenly we started exposing our private parts also to each other. And slowly what happened, because nobody in the family was asking the questions that why are you meeting him so frequently, because we were also studying at times and playing at times. So but exposing the private parts to each other just went to an extent. I did not really know when it turned into the sexual abuse, and it happened. I mean, it was like he would penetrate into me also. That happened. And I did not know what's right or wrong at that time. That was a time even I was not at the age of the puberty, and we were not really told that what's good or the bad touch, or what's right or wrong. But yeah, somehow since I did not tell it to anyone at that time, I really think that I had an idea it is not worth telling to anyone. So I knew that it was wrong, but then where to stop it, how to stop it, I did not know. But when I first got my menstruation cycle, and I could not tell it to my mom, just thinking that it's is it something just which is happening to me because I did something wrong. And I went to the school like that, and when I came back home, I again saw that it's happening. So I told my mom that it happened, and I was feeling very guilty. What did I do? How could it happen? And then I realized that when I in my 10th standard, I read about the reproduction, and I said, I did not know, and what if it could have led to something wrong. And then I realized that this is not right, and I stopped that. I mean, I just told this guy also that I think it is wrong, and what we were doing was not ethically right. And but it doesn't stop here. So one impact which it has is like you are very poor at decision making, basically about the physical parts, or the private parts, or the physical needs. So this was about the first abuser which I contacted to. Second, there was a couple of the instances also. There were a couple of the instances which happened, like people would just made me touch their private parts, even through their pants also. But then that it's not feeling right. Why are they not able to do it publicly? I used to travel by the government, buses, and then also I would feel that if I am at the extreme corner, the guys would stand and they would try to touch your private parts to your body. I know it's wrong, but then I will not just push them back or say loudly, just thinking that what would the society would be thinking. Because I was always told that if you speak up, then people are going to fun about you, and you don't want to be a public picture in the wrong sense. So but okay, so it happened. But then I went to the college. I mean, I went into a relationship also, but then I went into it very fast and very deep, and it was a failure. And then you really if somebody loves you, because you are not able to tell things at home, so you really feels good. But then, since you are too deep and too fast, things really don't work well. Okay, then I think this was just going on. I mean, I was fine. I mean, but I was not enjoying a lot in my life, which I remember, and I was more focused towards the career, and not to be speaking with a lot of people. I became an introvert. And but then what happened is, so one of this guy, he helped me in my job. That was my first job. And then he thought that, and he was, since he helped me, he was around 10 years elder to me. And then he thinks that because he has helped me, maybe I am obliged to him. One day what happened is that he asked me about my relation, and I told him that I had a boyfriend. And then he takes an advantage of it, and he started touching my private parts. I do not have learned yet to say no or to take a stand for me in this case, and I let it happen. I'm trying to restrict it, but I'm not able to do it. So it was just like I'm just lying, I'm just pushing, but he is also trying to touch me more. And then at the other day, I had to face this guy, and I felt very bad. I said, "What?" I mean, I could not even speak up, but I could not make an eye contact with him. So the other day, I told my sister that this happened, and what do you think? I mean, I can't really make an eye contact, and I can't even work in this job anymore because if I have to face this guy, how will I be able to do so? And if he thinks that being into a relationship just makes him do anything with him, I mean, that was my choice. It was not.
Exactly.
But then, since I tried to take a step ahead, this guy becomes very reluctant, and he started emotionally even harassing me. Once he did apologize, but since I was not able to make an eye contact or to come to his home or for any official thing also, I was just trying to escape an eye contact or to welcome him anytime. He started emotionally harassing me. It happened it happened till a couple of years also, and I was like that even my family is not trusting me because they are not supporting me. They are also visiting that person's place. I have to accompany them. I am getting emotionally very distressed, and they are not so it was very bad. If I bad phase of my life which I really don't want to remember, and it was very hard phase. But then if I tell it to the people also at that moment of the time, if I told them, they were like, it's okay, we know he's a bad guy, but it's difficult for you to just stop contacting him, so let things be like the way they are. I said okay. But what happened, my financial condition, my family condition also changed to a way. It happened like that I had to it happened like I had to stay with this person's at this person's home because my dad was so ill. We had to and he was admitted to hospital for a couple of days because he had a surgery. And since in my family we were not that financially stable, that my sister also told me that you should stay with him because she was like, he has apologized, now you are making fuss of everything. I said okay, but then since there was a lot of emotional emotional trauma I had went through, I was like okay, I gave up that decision of taking the stand. And then he took he tried to take a benefit out of it, and then he started sexually abusing me. He would make me do the oral sex and penetrate me also. But that would also never happen in a way if it should happen. If it is, I think sex is also about a pleasure. It is just not about a need that a person can get fulfilled by any of the opposite sex he sees. So since it was happening, it happened for a long period of the time. And whenever I would say that it's not right, what are we doing is not right, he would always try to justify things by saying that people do so. I said, then people do so, then doesn't mean, can you tell it to your wife? Because he's married also, he has a kid also. I would ask that, can you tell them? He said, not everything could be told. Emotionally also or mentally also, he would make me feel very less confident. And then he would, explain those things that it is the right thing to do. And since, he was very, I had to face him kind of alternate days or the fortnightly. So it was very difficult for me to take a step. But then later on, I thought I am going to switch the company, the city. So I switched the company and the city also. But then also, whenever I would encounter him, since and I would encounter him, it always happens that he would try to touch me. And I would feel bad, and I can't stop it because my family is also around. So it kept happening. Because of that, my decision making power and what's right or the wrong just stopped. I don't know what's right. How to take a stand of it. I would rather feel that destiny is making things happen with me. And after this happened, even after I left this city also, so I was ready to be in a relationship or meet a guy or to get married to a guy who's rather, who's not good also. I know he's not good, but I feel that because I did something with him, I got ready to do, because now I was an adult when I let it happen. So I was wrong, and then nobody would marry with me. I mean, that's the kind of the low confidence which I had. And but the other guy also, he was also, with whom I thought I can be in a relationship. So he was not a very genuine or a nice guy, if I say. So I started getting very emotionally distressed because he never did the abuse kind of a thing. But he would torture me, or emotionally he would always just tell me that he is in trouble, or I should help him, that I do not help him, and kind of a thing. That I started going to take the therapy also, because and now I realize that whatever happened was a part of the sexual abuse which I let it happen. Because I do not know what's right or wrong. And in the whole period, I think it was from 20 to, it was at least till 14 years it kept happening. And I would feel so low confident that in my job, in my office, I was not able to speak up in a forum, in a conference table. And I used to be very confident in my school time, wherein I used to participate in a lot of things. But then the confidence level, I remember once I was actually tying a rakhi to my brother and my hand was shivering, and my brother would say, what happened? I was like, nothing. Once I had to just give this glass table to the second abuser, and my hand was literally shaking, because you can't go to him. I mean, it happened. I used to feel that, why is it happening? Why am I low confident? When people used to talk about that, when people say that you should love yourself, I would not understand what it means, because it never happened with me. Because I used to very criticize myself that how can you let it happen? It was you wrong. Other people would also tell me that it's a physical need. You needed it, and you went into it. So I would say that there are times when you do not know what's right or wrong, and sometimes you just let things happen. But at least just talk to your conscience and understand that how do you feel. Even people say it right, it doesn't mean it becomes right. You have to have your own stand. You have to think from your ethics that was it right or not. And if at the end of till last year also, I used to feel that it was my destiny which let it happen with me. And I think the people would also be thinking that what was their problem, what was their bad part if it happened with me. I would just say that people will approach you because they want to. I mean, they want to satisfy their physical needs by that. But then you have to stop it. It is a randomness. It can happen with anyone, but you have to change your destiny by taking a stand, by stopping it. And I would say that, until I met a couple of people who would just tell me that, it was not your fault and you should take a stand and you should have your own voice. I could not have stopped it. I really feel that, if someone says it's fine or it's right, do not get into that, that vicious circle and let it happen. Just find someone who you truly believes in. Some people would also, can also start taking an advantage of it, just thinking, if it has happened with you, another person can also do it. But do not really let it happen. Just listen to yourself.
Yes, and you have all the right to say no to people and be assertive, and it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I want to know, when the child sexual abuse happened with you, what was the age of the abuser who was doing it? And what was your age?
So the first abuse started happening with me when I was at age of 12 till 15 years, and he was also of my age. I was at 12 to 15 years. The second abuse happened when I was around, around 23, 24 of age, and then abuser was 33 or 34. Yeah.
I want to know, you ever thought of taking a legal action against this, or going to court or reporting the matter against any of your abusers?
See, when the emotional trauma was happening in the second case, then I really used to feel that, it's not right, I should just report a case. But since both of my abusers were from my close family, and then, they have a married life, which my family also do not really support, if I say then. And somehow, in the first case, I really felt that maybe the first abuser also did not have an idea what he was doing, but he was rather groomed with by his friends who were elder in his age to try all those things with me. And in the second case, since I was an adult and I know what's right or wrong, and I did not take a stand just because I had an history or because I do not know. I really felt that it was my responsibility, and I was, an adult to stop it from happening. And since these were in the close family, I did not really take action.
And are you still going through some therapies, psychological therapies, or are these therapies helping you? Like you mentioned, you went to some therapy.
Yeah, so I went there and I started. I met a psychiatrist also. So I told him all the story as well, and he prescribed me the medication which would help me to sleep also. But then later on, I myself, so at that, so when this therapy happened only, since I was of age when girls should get married, so I was 28 at that time, and on that particular day only, there was this family which came to my place to see me, and I really felt very happy meeting them. And but I started taking this therapy. After 10 days, I spoke to this guy. He used to stay, he's working somewhere else, which is very far. So he is working in the south and I was in the north. So we spoke. During this time, I was talking to this guy also, and I was taking my therapy also. So I could not really tell him because, I do not trust him, I do not know him. But then, speaking this guy, only he would just tell me, when I speak to him, I realize that you can have your own voice. You can have your own choices, even if people do not believe it. You have a heart. You should know what's right or wrong, and you should have hobbies which you can't compromise with. Therein, when I'm meeting this guy, I realize this is so naturally coming, and I am naturally liking all those things which were so apart, and I was not myself throughout these years also. So in this between only I decided myself that I will not take this therapy. There was a performance also which so in this office we decided to perform Bhangra, and I was taking this therapy. I could not really literally dance, and if I look at my video that's on YouTube also, I just danced for a couple of seconds. It was horribly, I was dancing because I was taking therapy. I am in the emotional trauma. I could not dance. That was the level of the self-confidence I had. But then I will again say this thanks to this guy who came into my life, and he's just a friend. But then he would tell me, he also doesn't know what happened with me and how he helped me. I would say it was just a destiny or the randomness which happened. But then, yeah, in the meanwhile, I decided. So, if I say then, yes, it's good in a way, meeting a psychiatrist is good that you can speak to
Somebody.
him. And then these people are also obliged to not to discuss your case with anyone.
Confidential.
So, yeah, it's a confidential thing. But then I will also say that you have to find a place in yourself, where you want to satisfy it. And these things are going to take time. You have to be patient with yourself. You can't be really rigid or very tough with yourself. You have to love yourself, and you should start learning it. I mean, and loving yourself means that do what your heart says. Accept things as your heart says, not as the people say. People would make you a fool. I mean,
I think you should not trust people, because if they're going to say it's right and it's not necessarily, it might be right for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's important to unchain all the blockage that is happening in your mind, that okay, I can't do this. And if something has happened in the past, there's always a new way, and new doors will open up, kind of a thing. I want to know, you are mentioning about this guy who helped you out because you were able to not share about the views, but open up with him. Do you think it's important to have these people in your life where you can actually open up with them and they provide you with the right guidance? Do you think it's important for a child to have such people जिसके साथ वो open up हो सके and he can share his heart out or her heart out?
So I would say it's you have to be very particular to whom you tell your story. So if I say in my second abuse, I told the abuser that I had a relationship and he thought of using it. Which had a very bad impact on me, which actually led to all this emotional trauma. But I would also say that there were other people who would just tell me that you have to take a stand, you have to just leave your city or leave your job if you can't really stop him happening, because he is in your close relative. And so you have to take a step. But then, see, I will say, even I did not do it with myself. I was very, easily opening up to the people, telling them the story also. Some would use it, some were beneficial. I will say just take your time, but do tell it to people. Do tell it to the right people. Because, see, now when the right people comes in your life, again, it can be the randomness. But then, I'll say just be particular. Be particular. Just think of the extent to which you want to tell them, so that they don't use it. And if they do, if even your right person says you the wrong thing, then the thing doesn't become right. So just be very careful about it.
I think you will find answers within yourself also. Just you mentioned that you need to find a safe space within you.
Yeah.
Oh, बहुत important है. I want to know, after hearing your story, I see the impact stays with you for a very quite long period of time. It's not that the impact of child sexual abuse is just for a day or a two. Do you think it's affecting you still in your life in some or the other way?
Yeah, so I will say, because this emotional trauma happened, and then I started losing the self-confidence. I mean, it's still there. Sometimes I really feel sometimes I feel, should I speak up or not? Because you do not trust yourself, and you feel that the people outside would judge you, or how's your opinion. So yeah, even in the relationship, it really affects me, because now I'm very protective about myself. I feel that how if somebody else would use me or something, if he's just doing it for the sake of the physical needs. So yeah, I mean, in the decision making also, you feel bad. And I mean, I'm not that happy a person I used to be, because it happened, and I would also self-criticize myself a lot of time. So yeah, I mean, it impacts you in a lot of ways, mostly in your decision making also, what's right or wrong, and majorly about your relationships and your physical needs. If I say you face issues. Yeah.
Okay, so my final question is is there any message that you would like to give to the young generation or children out there, that why is it important to raise their voice, or what can they do to prevent it? Any message that you would like to give it to the young generation on this cause, and what role they can play to raise their voice?
So a message to the young generation So if it happens with you, it's not your fault. But if you let it happen, that's in your hands. You can stop it anytime. uh, and sometimes, as I say, sometimes the things are not white and black, these are gray. You don't know it's right or wrong. Maybe you're feeling pleasure at that time, you are feeling just happy at that time. It's happening. But then how do you feel about it? Can you just look into your eyes and talk to yourself and tell it what happened? I mean, can you just speak up, or can you tell it, share it to somebody whom you trust in your family? It could not be your close family, your, any far relatives whom you trust. Are you able to, can you think of telling this to him? How would he react to it? If the answer is no, then it's a wrong thing, right? And you should tell it to your elders whom you trust, so that it can be stopped. Because maybe you people are so young that you are not in a position to take a stand or to say no. But then
It's important you can
it's
take somebody's
important.
help,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if you are not able to say no, there might be people who can help you to say no,
Yeah.
or they can help you out in that way.
Right. But the first thing is to recognize, I mean, what's a good or the bad touch. And your body, your soul knows what's right or wrong. I know this education is very much important. But then just see that if you can just tell your elders that who stood first in the competition, then can you tell about this thing? If no, then it's
Then there's
wrong.
something wrong, yes. And there's this thing that inner instinct.
Yeah.
Children can feel that if something
Yeah.
is going wrong, they just don't have the right words to express it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think it should be told in the right platform at the right time, so that it can be stopped. So yeah.
Yes, it is very, very important that we raise our voice and not remain quiet about this issue. And after hearing the story, I strongly believe the impact of child sexual abuse can stay for a longer period of time. Thus, it's very important that we prevent it and we provide safe spaces, and we create safe spaces where people can just open their heart out and try to find safe spaces within us also, and share it with people and share it with the right people. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. I'm sure this is going to inspire thousands of children and students to raise their voice. And hats off to you. And God bless you. So, this is Megha Bhatia signing off for today. Take care.